Level 1. Living from one payday to the next. Your day begins at 6 a.m. The alarm goes off on a budget phone you got from your carrier 3 years back. Before even getting out of bed, you pull up your banking app. You've only got $47 left in your checking account, and payday isn't until Friday. That's 4 days away. The numbers simply don't add up, and honestly, they haven't for a very long time. You clean your teeth using a worn-out toothbrush that should have been replaced months ago. Home is a small one-bedroom flat on the 3rd floor, where the hallways always carry the scent of your neighbor's dinners. With such paper-thin walls, you can easily follow the audio of the TV next door. To make matters worse, your rent increased again this year, while your income remained exactly the same. Your ride is a 12-year-old vehicle, and that check engine light has been glowing on your dashboard for the past 8 months. You just keep driving it because taking it to a garage means choosing between a repair bill or buying food. Handling both in a single week is out of the question. Whether you're employed at a warehouse, a shop, a diner, or a customer service center, it's all the same. The specific role doesn't matter, the routine is identical. You punch in, you punch out. Management tracks your time as if every second is gold. You get a strict 30-minute window for lunch, slip up and take 32 minutes, and you'll find yourself facing a disciplinary write-up. Your hourly rate hasn't bumped up in 2 years. Your supervisor acts like performance evaluations are a big deal, but they aren't. The financial decisions are made behind closed doors in a boardroom you'll never see. You've managed to put away $200 in savings, which feels like a small victory since most folks making what you make have absolutely nothing. You've been attempting to piece together a rainy day fund since the age of 22. Now you're 31. Every single time you start making progress, a new crisis hits. Your car's gearbox fails, you need dental work, the fridge breaks down, or you end up with a hospital bill that your insurance unexpectedly refused to pay. In the end, the emergency fund is always wiped out by an actual emergency. The system is set up to work exactly like this. It's not a trap you build, you're just trapped inside it. And to top it off, you're carrying $18,000 in student debt. You are carrying $6,000 in credit card debt and only paying the bare minimum on your accounts. Unfortunately, the mechanics of compound interest are working against you, draining your wealth in the exact same way it builds wealth for the rich. It will take you another 2 decades to clear these balances, and by the end of it, you will have repaid triple the amount you originally owed. Your tax refund is the sole occasion throughout the entire year where your balance exceeds $500. However, you've already allocated every penny of it mentally before the cash even hits your account. It's quickly swallowed up by car repairs, dental visits, or perhaps a brief getaway if you're lucky. Yet, unexpected expenses always pop up to drain it before you can enjoy yourself. At this point, you're not even shocked when it happens. Level 2, the stable middle. Level 2, the stable middle. 3 years back, you landed a better position, a legitimate corporate office role. Your daily wardrobe consists of business casual outfits sourced from budget retail stores. You spend your days at a desk with a computer, sitting in a chair that constantly triggers your back pain. Your annual salary sits at $62,000. Once taxes, healthcare premiums, and your employer-matched retirement contributions are deducted, your monthly take-home pay is roughly $3,800. This single amount is supposed to handle all your expenses, though it rarely stretches far enough. You manage to buy a modest home in an obscure suburb for $280,000, utilizing an FHA loan with a minimal down payment. To scrape that down payment together, you had to combine your personal savings, your tax refund, and a loan from your mother-in-law, whom you were secretly reimbursing bit by bit. Your monthly mortgage payment, which bundles in property taxes and homeowner's insurance, totals $2,100. Your household now operates 2 vehicles, both of which require monthly financing payments. You also have a child, with daycare services taking a massive $1,400 bite out of your monthly budget. Because relying on a single paycheck is impossible, your wife is forced to maintain a full-time job as well. Your 401k retirement account holds around $35,000. You currently contribute 6% of your income simply because a corporate financial advisor suggested it was a sensible figure. For emergencies, you keep $8,000 stashed away in a standard savings account. Concurrently, you are managing about $12,000 in credit card debt divided among 3 separate accounts. Even though you pay slightly above the minimum required amount, it barely makes a dent. The total debt refuses to go down, remaining stagnant year after year like a quiet financial parasite feeding off your hard work. You only manage to take a single vacation annually. Maybe you take a trip to visit your parents or rent a lakeside cabin 3 hours out of town. Friday night dinners are spent at casual restaurants with less than a 10-minute wait. You pay for a streaming platform and a gym pass, though you always quit the gym in January only to sign up again by February. Every single month, you calculate your budget. And every single month, you manage to save just a little bit extra. Sometimes it's a few $100, other times it's $1,000. That extra cushion means everything to you. It is the only thing keeping you from sliding back into level 1. Yet, you know exactly how fragile this stability is. One sudden car crash, an unexpected medical emergency, or getting laid off could instantly throw you back to square one. You keep these anxieties to yourself, though. You put on a brave face at the office, telling everyone things are going great. You reassure your parents that you're doing wonderfully. They want to believe it, and honestly, so do you. Level 3. The comfortable professional. Your annual income is $180,000, while your spouse brings in $95,000. Together, your household makes $275,000 gross. This income places your family within the wealthiest 10% of American homes. Even so, wealth isn't what you feel, you just feel completely overwhelmed and busy. You reside in a well-known suburban neighborhood. Your home, valued at $650,000, features 4 bedrooms alongside a fully renovated basement. Outside in the driveway sit 2 SUVs, both under 3 years old. You chose to lease them because it sounded logical when the dealer pitched it, though now you're starting to second-guess that choice. Your children either go to a private academy or attend the top-rated public school in your district. One way or another, it costs you. You're either shelling out money for tuition or paying exorbitant property taxes just to secure a spot in a reputable zip code. On the bright side, your savings are finally substantial. You have a combined $280,000 across your 401k accounts. Your brokerage account holds $90,000 allocated in index funds. You maintain 2 Roth IRAs. There is a 529 college savings plan set up for each of your kids. You put away the absolute maximum allowed into these funds whenever possible. Your financial advisor forecasts that you are on track to stop working at age 62 with a $3 million nest egg. That sounds like a fortune at first glance, until she points out that it has to sustain your lifestyle for the next 25 years. Inflation acts as a quiet predator, constantly creeping up to erode your future. You go on vacation twice a year, not to nearby lakes, but to actual destinations. You take the kids to Disney World, and later, enjoy a long weekend getaway to Napa Valley without them. Even though you fly economy, you always splurge on seats with extra legroom. You tend to buy $22 bottles of wine, grill steaks every Saturday, and dine at restaurants where entrees cost around $40. No one would ever offer you an early bird discount. At the same time, you are locked into a non-stop work routine. You find yourself reviewing emails at 10 p.m. and answering business calls right from the sidelines of your daughter's soccer matches. Your smartphone feels like an extension of your body. Your boss claims to prioritize work-life balance, yet she replies to your Slack messages at midnight, making it clear what the actual expectations are. In the past 5 years, you haven't taken a single break longer than 10 straight days. You are financially secure, yet completely drained. The irony of this lifestyle is the immense pressure required to keep it going. Your income seems to vanish quicker than you can track. Despite bringing home $275,000 annually, you still have to watch your spending closely. The monthly mortgage comes out to $4,000, and private schooling drains another $28,000 each year. This way of living creates its own downward pull, dragging your finances along with it. Level 4, the high earner. You might be a physician, an attorney, a senior tech engineer, or a regional director of sales. It has been 3 years since your annual income cleared the $500,000 mark, and you haven't shifted into reverse since. Income-wise, you sit comfortably in the top 1% of Americans. However, when it comes to actual net worth, you aren't in that top 1% yet. That difference is beginning to bother you in ways you never anticipated. Your home is valued at $1.4 million. It's far from a mansion, but rather a spacious, well-furnished property situated in a district known for excellent schools and strict law guidelines. These regulations dictate everything from your exterior paint palette to the height of your hedges. Your monthly mortgage payment stands at $7,000, while property taxes demand an additional $2,000 every month. On top of that, utilities average around $800. In total, maintaining your basic lifestyle costs $30,000 a month, before accounting for any trips or high-end luxury purchases. When you finally sit down and do the math, that figure is truly startling. You employ a private wealth manager, not the generic one provided by your employer, but a dedicated professional who charges a percentage of your total managed assets. You also have a tax specialist on your team, as well as an estate lawyer who set up your trust and last will. Your portfolio includes 3 rental units, which bring in a bit of revenue alongside a massive amount of stress. Your financial breakdown looks like this. Retirement savings, $1.8 million. Taxable investment account, $600,000. Cash reserves, $400,000. Because your financial situation is so intricate, your advisor insisted that you maintain a substantial emergency fund. Meanwhile, your 2 children attend a private academy, costing $45,000 annually per child. That totals $90,000 in net, post-tax tuition costs. To cover this out-of-pocket expense, you actually need to gross roughly $150,000 in pre-tax earnings. Since you will be funding this for 13 years for each child, the cumulative cost is massive. At this stage, the figures are never minor, you just get accustomed to them. You also bought a lakeside vacation home for $750,000. You justified the purchase as a business move, planning to list it on Airbnb. In reality, it gets booked for only about 8 weekends a year at a rate of $2,000 per weekend. That revenue doesn't even come close to covering your monthly mortgage and upkeep costs, which you are well aware of. Still, you hold on to the property because it makes your children happy, and owning it gives you a sense of ultimate success. Right now, you are building genuine, substantial wealth. For the very first time, your net worth is expanding at a faster pace than your personal outlays. That is the true benchmark of making real financial progress. However, you are simultaneously captive to your salary. The second you walk away from your job, this entire setup will fall apart. You might be wealthy on paper, but you are still just one missed paycheck away from financial anxiety. The only difference is that your paychecks are much larger. Level 5, the first million. You managed to surpass this milestone last year. Today, your total net worth stands at $2.3 million. Reaching that first million was a quiet, solitary milestone. It's not the kind of milestone you share with your social circle. Sitting alone in the kitchen, staring at the financial statement, the feeling wasn't exactly joy. It felt more like a wave of relief. A validation that you followed your parents' advice, and the plan actually succeeded. However, most of that wealth isn't readily available cash. There is $800,000 tied up in home equity, $1.1 million sitting in retirement accounts, another $350,000 in a brokerage portfolio, and just $50,000 kept in cash reserves. You quickly realize you can't actually spend this net worth without breaking the very engine that generates it. A reality your younger self never truly grasped. Now, thoughts of your children's inheritance have begun to surface. It's not out of dark obsession, but pure practicality. You've established trusts, appointed legal guardians, and drafted personal letters that your lawyer stores safely away in a fireproof vault. At the same time, you ponder the limits of wealth. You recall the saying, give them enough to do anything, but not so much that they do nothing. You question what the ideal amount is for your kids, what they will do with their legacy, and whether your success is making them soft. At 47 years old, your physical health is starting to show signs of age. Your back aches, your knees act up, and there's a spot on your shoulder the dermatologist wants to test. It becomes clear that the real value of this wealth isn't about acquiring material possessions, it's about purchasing time, preserving health, and creating flexibility. You now employ a personal trainer and a nutritionist, and you visit doctors preventatively. You convince yourself these aren't self-indulgences, they are investments in your well-being. Yet, you still grind through 55-hour workweeks. Accumulating wealth didn't teach you how to turn it off. The money was forged through constant labor, making hard work your entire identity. And walking away from that identity is far more difficult than walking away from the paycheck. You find yourself envious of people who genuinely know how to enjoy their affluence, because you're not convinced you are one of them. You constantly promise yourself that you will ease up next year. But next year never comes, it simply turns into another year of the exact same routine.